Hi, my name is Tyra Sabella, and today I will be discussing Everett Rogers' diffusion of innovation theory as explained by his adoption curve. I'd like to begin my discussion on Rogers' adoption curve by first discussing the diffusion of innovation theory. The diffusion of innovation theory was developed by Everett Rogers in 1962. And it's considered one of the oldest social science theories to this day. It was designed to explain how an innovation spreads throughout a social system over time. An innovation is considered a new idea, behavior, or technology. An adoption of an innovation means that an individual accepts the new idea, behavior, or technology and utilizes it in their daily lives. Rogers' diffusion of innovation model classified adopters into 5 categories. The reason for 5 categories is because adoption occurs at different rates, and some individuals are more likely to adopt than others. His 5 categories are broken up into the innovators, the early adopters, the early majority, the late majority, and lastly, the laggards. Now I'd like to go on to discuss Everett Rogers' adoption curve. As you can see, the innovators make up 2.5% of the population. The early adopters make up 13.5% of the population. The early majority and late majority make up 34% of the population. And lastly, the laggards make up 16% of the population. The innovators. The adoption process begins with innovators. These are the visionary, imaginative types. These are the people who desire to be the first to try an innovation. They are considered venturesome and interested in new ideas, and they are very willing to take risks and often the first to develop new ideas. Early adopters. These are the individuals who are socially connected and perceived as opinion leaders. They enjoy leadership roles and are often likely to embrace change opportunities. They are aware of the need to change and are very comfortable adopting new ideas. They are considered trendsetters. An example of an early adopter would be teenagers. Early adopters are instrumental in reinvention for the innovation to suit mainstream needs. The early majority. These people are rarely considered leaders, but they do adopt new ideas before the average person. They are influenced by mainstream trends and are comfortable with progressive ideas, but will not act without solid proof of benefits. They typically need to see evidence that the innovation works before they are willing to adopt it. They are considered cost-sensitive and risk-averse. An example of the early majority might be young parents. Late majority. The late majority are the people who are skeptical of change and will only adopt an innovation after it has been tried by the majority. They are considered to be conservative and tend to avoid risks. They prefer established standards and are uncomfortable by the thought of new innovations until they are mainstream. The final category of Rogers' adoption curve is the laggards. The laggards are the people who are the last to adopt innovations. They perceive high risk in adoption. They tend to be people who are bound by tradition, conservative, and very skeptical of change. An example might be an old-fashioned grandparent. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you were able to learn a little bit more about Everett Rogers' diffusion of innovation theory. Thank you.